Welcome, comic book community, to the Witching Hour. This is a comic book with book show. Robert Gowan here, and I have some special guests tonight. One of my special friends, and I'm going to introduce you to him in 1 second here. But now that I got you with a hook, it's time for the book. And this is Journey into Mystery. Now, everybody knows out there of the original. Of course, this is not the original, but I like my horror books, and this reminds me of an old Golden Age book, especially with the demon creature that kind of looks like a vampire. And what's cool about this book at the time when this came out, this had 3 stories in it. And the writer of the story of the first one was Dig Me a Grave, and that's this story you see on the front cover. And this one was done by Roy Thomas and Gail Kane, and Tom Palmer was the artist. It was based on the story by Robert E. Howard. Also, number 2 of the story in here was called House. And that was written by Steve Enligerment, and art was by Ralph Rees. Then the 3rd story in this book was You Show Me Your Dreams, I'll Show You Mine. And that one was written by Steve Skaters and penciled by Jim Starlin and inked by Mark Flog. But it's a really cool run. If you guys never checked this out, give it a read. It's really good. And just the nostalgia alone is pretty awesome. So there's my book for tonight. And now, just really quick shout out to everybody in the chat. I got to give everybody a proper shout out right at the beginning here. We have 90 FM. Brother, Daddy, how you doing? Nice to see you. We got Hialeah Comic Bro. I love you. Can't believe you're awake. You're probably falling asleep though. So thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate it. Downright Nerdy Podcast. Michael, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate you being here. And we got Cap. Do you ever sleep? How you doing, buddy? So nice to be here. Thank you so much. And Tabitha, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it very much, my stepdaughter. Now, on with the show, and here we go. My co-host, none other than Jeff 813. Brother, how you doing tonight?
Not bad, guys. Not bad. I'm gonna actually show you guys Carla Cohan original from Scorpion Comics, and it's actually a C2E2 exclusive, and it's 300 it's actually 300 made only, 300 of this cover, and I have 267 of it. So a pretty Carla Cohan.
I gotta get that. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Fire.
What? Yeah.
Smoking fire.
Yeah, it is.
So. Dude, that is a beautiful cover.
It was one of my favorites so far this year, but there's gonna be way more. But so far this year, this is one of my favorites so far.
Great find.
Yep, that's my book.
Awesome. Now on to my special guest for tonight, for the show tonight. His name's John Hoffman, and he runs comic books. He does his own comic book auctions. And his name of his show and his shop is Marvelous Comics. He'll be in the link descriptions on the bottom. I'll actually have him in the link up here in a minute. But I want to introduce John, really good friend of mine and awesome comic book collector. Buddy, how you doing?
Good. How you doing? Thanks for having me on, Robert.
Absolutely.
So, well, what do you want me to talk about first time?
Your book.
My book. All right. So my first, well, I tell you what I'll do. I will show you. This isn't obviously it because that was a long time ago.
You're good.
But the first book that I ever bought through mail when I was, say, 17, was.
Oh,
Aliens versus Predator.
nice.
I loved Aliens, and then when they took this cookie and put them together, it was the first mail away sent to my home that I ever did. Order out of another comic book. I loved the series. I thought it was great, and I'll tell you a story about why I fell in love with this series. Not
Go
so much
right ahead,
the Predator side, but Aliens. I was born in 73. Aliens came out in 77, 78.
Yeah, 77. Yes.
Right. So 73, 74, 75, 76, 4 years old. And my uncle takes me to see Alien in the theater. I remember going to see the movie and the back of the seat almost the entire time as I cowered in fear. And my mom said I didn't sleep for 2 weeks, and I believe it. It's the only reoccurring nightmare. If I have one, it's an alien.
I love it.
But the funny story is when I was engaged to my first wife, we were in college and we were going through a haunted house in a mall. Yeah, it's it's a mall haunted house. There's nothing great about it. But I hate haunted houses, despise them with a passion. But we were in the tour guide going through, and the rule when you're going through a haunted house is you're always in the middle.
Yep.
You're never in the front, and you're never in the back. Because if you're in the front, something's going to jump out at you. If you're in the back, something's going to come up behind you. So we're going through, and you're like, ooh, Frankenstein, and ooh, Dracula. It's cheesy and it's garbage. And we get to about the fourth room, and there's just some person in the cage going, help me, help me, help me. Strobe lights going. And as soon as you went in the room, the next door was right there. So everybody just cut the corner and went to the next room. I don't know. I got looking at something, and I got in the back. You never get in the back. And the guide stops, and he turns around and says, oh, by the way, did you see my pet?
Oh, no.
And I did this number. And about 3 feet from me walking around is some dude in a big full latex suit.
Awesome.
I mean, and it's creeping in the strobe lights.
Yep.
So I did what any normal guy would do. I grabbed her by both shoulders and I threw her straight towards it and plowed past everyone and said, look, I don't care what's up here, but I know what's back there. Let's get to the end. Yep, great. Let's go.
Nice.
And she was mad at me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my story on aliens.
Dude, that's awesome. You know what's cool about that story? Pick up that book again, because I've got 8 copies of that book. I love I love that storyline, because what's cool about that is that is what Aliens the Predator, the one with the queen alien in it.
Right.
Remember the Predator at Antarctica? That's that story right there. Almost that story to a T. Yeah, and the back one with them fighting. Yeah, awesome. That is awesome. Oh, I love that cover.
Yeah, it was a great story and a great run. And I don't think that the aliens books have never gotten the credit that they deserve.
No, and what's cool about that story too, what they did is the Predators are the ones that had the alien queen, and they're planting eggs on the ship, and they're shooting these eggs out into the universe. Then they're going on a hunting party. That was a great storyline. Right. That was awesome. It's a very underrated comic book. But dude, that's an awesome story. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, she did.
That's great. That's great. Because when I watched Alien the first time, I was at a drive-in movie theater. Yeah, scared the living crap out of me.
Yeah, I remember seeing Piranha in a drive-in.
Man, too funny. Too funny. I want to welcome everybody in the chat really quick. All the link down there and the link to Scrubs, Marvelous Comics, and in the description on the bottom. They'll bring you right to Hip Comics, bring you right to his store. If you're interested in anything, I'm more than happy to help. You actually, we'll talk to you. If you got a question, just ask him. He's more than willing to help. Isn't that right, John? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything I can help you find or look for, or
So real quick, shout out to again. I'm gonna catch up real quick. Tabitha, Chris Lackey, the Puppet Master. Yo, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Don Strange, love the Predator and Alien. Talking Predator 1 to have to see that sounds awesome.
nice.
Awesome. That would be a nice autograph book. That I would definitely like. Two Brothers in Comics. Awesome, you guys. Thank you for taking a little time out to watch the show. I appreciate it. You're awesome. Love haunted houses myself. So let's see here. What do we have as a topic? What would you guys like to talk about? Anything new going? Why don't you tell the community about yourself a little bit, bud?
Okay.
Josh, go ahead, buddy.
Well, I'm 47 almost. I don't do this full time. Usually I'm work in a federal prison. So, but I get to leave every day, so it's cool.
Yeah.
I got into comics through my uncle, who had some of this collection when I was growing up. He was an old time nerd, so he would go to work and basically spend all his money on comic books, and he would read them, put them in bags, and put them in boxes, and that's where they stayed. So, when I was growing up, even from like age 4 or 5, I got to read. There's an X-Men #1 sitting right there.
Nice.
That's the copy that I read when I was, young. He taught me how to take them out of the bags and how to, basically turn the pages without messing anything up. And, he trusted me with everything. So I showed respect to all his things. And then I didn't really collect until I got to high school and got in with a bunch of friends. And even then I only ended up with about a single long box full.
Sure.
I was in the middle of West Virginia. There wasn't comic book stores or anything. So we were kind of limited to the drug stores and, for getting anything in. So, once it came back around and I ended up having my own children, my son was a big Spider-Man fan, the one who runs this company with me.
Sure.
And I said, have you ever really let me show you, let me put together a storyline that I used to have.
Sure. And
my favorite storyline from when I was collecting before was the Cosmic Spider-Man.
Very nice. Great whole covers. That's awesome.
And I said, let me put together this, the Cosmic Spider-Man run. It was my favorite. I loved it. And so I went and got all 9 issues, I believe, through all the different crossovers. Because this one, and when I started getting back into it, I didn't realize, anything was, really special about it. Right. I just knew that it was a hilarious book when I read it. When, he walks up to Hulk and punches him into outer space.
Yeah.
And he's up there holding his breath going, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then when the Cosmic Spider-Man suit showed up, and he actually went cosmic in this one, I loved the whole outfit, and I loved the storyline that Spider-Man was the most powerful in the world.
Sure.
Or in the universe. So yeah, I loved the whole aspect in the story. So I got him into it and got him hooked on the books through that storyline. So I took one from my childhood and hooked another kid off of it. So.
So, out of curiosity, did you fix your mic?
No, I changed it to the cell phone, so it's a little better. It was driving me nuts, anyways.
I know. Okay, good. you have any questions for my guest tonight?
Yeah, I actually do. Actually, how is it running a store and doing YouTube at the same time?
Well, what we do on YouTube right now is just our unboxings and everything. We're a dealer with a CBCS, and I choose them because they grade stricter. And it's everybody has their opinion on which one to go with, but
Oh yeah,
I get everything back really fast with CBCS, and
they have to do authenticated autographs too, don't they?
yes,
Yeah.
and I do the witness for signatures, so
Nice.
that helps. And did I get off track?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
If you guys haven't seen it out there, community, the last video he did was probably like a month old, but he's got his son with him on that video. It's actually really cool. Go check it out. You can see he's acting like the boss. He's in the chair over there and he's talking to his daddy. Pretty good video. Check it out, you guys.
Yeah. All our videos we try to do together.
Sure.
We try not to do one.
It makes it fun too.
Yeah, and I try to get him to smile.
Yeah.
He tends to freeze up, so I'll tweak his leg every once in a while, or say something to just try to make him smile or ease up a little bit.
So I'm kind of excited. I want to show people what I just got from you. Hold on here. Am I going to do this right? No, I'm not going to do this right. It irritates me to no end. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to stop sharing and share my screen. Here we go. Boom and a la boom. And here we go. And it was this book right here, guys. Just got this one right here. And what was the grade again? I don't remember.
You got a 9.2.
9.2 graded one on this. So I'm very happy to get that in my collection. So
and you won that in the Hip Comic auction for $15.
$15. Couldn't believe it.
For
Thank
$15. So if you're out there and you don't know about Hip Comic, they run a penny auction every week, and it ends on Monday at 7:00.
There you go.
So help that from happening again.
Well, if
let's end $15 comic book sales. But actually, I had some sell less for that on that auction. So
yep, I know, I've seen that.
It is what it is. Sometimes they sell less. Sometimes they sell. Very rarely do you have anything go over what value is. But
sure.
I'm not in this to get rich or anything. So it's basically,
which is awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy the graded book. Yeah, yep. I like how.
Hold on, let me see it.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that the one you got for going up to $2? Everybody,
that's the one that's up for raffle.
Yeah, tell everybody about that.
All right, so I'm running this as a raffle at $2 a ticket, and there's only 100 tickets, and I've got 76 tickets left. And as soon as the 76 tickets are sold and we're at 100, I'm going to Instagram the drawing live, and I'm going to do it critical role style, and I'm going to use percentile dice, and
I'm in that. Yes.
Yep. And I'm going to roll it, and have whatever number comes up, that's the one that gets it. Do it live, and there's no cheating.
There you go. Any more questions, bud? Jeff?
Actually, yeah. Has the YouTube helped the business at all, or has it hindered the business, or?
Well, I don't think it can hinder anything, but I just have gotten into YouTube since December, so I haven't been on it very long, and we haven't put out a whole lot of videos, and we don't have a lot of people on us yet. So,
right.
I'm trying to do everything I can to direct people into my Hip Comic store, which I have a buy two get one free on slabs right now.
I was gonna say, tell everybody you're special. Yeah.
Yeah. Buy two get one free on CBCS slabs. I just put about 65 slabs in there. And I price everything pretty fairly. So if not under, so
Yeah, he does, guys. Actually, check it out. It's pretty cool. Definitely.
yeah, we're not looking to rob anybody. So
He's pretty fair with prices.
we're trying to get money together to go to a con to do it all over again. So
Exactly. Oh, pays for itself as you try to do. Any more, Jeff?
Not really. I mean, he pretty much answered most of mine, most of what I had to ask him. So
okay, sorry about this, community, but I'm going to do it on this show. The new guest every time. I've already prepped my guest, so he's ready to go. I don't like put anybody on the spot. So here we go, buddy. I'm going to give you the first one. First question's right down the bottom. Have any inspirational thoughts or ideas for the community as a whole?
Well, couple things. I'm not a big fan of eBay, whatever you want to call it.
Yep. eBay.
It is so flooded with comic books on the graded side and the ungraded side. But the ones I focus on, of course, are the graded side. Because everybody looks at two things. They look at eBay and then they look at Go Collect. And Go Collect pulls its resources from eBay. So if you go on eBay and you're like, you know what, I'm going to ask this guy to sell this $80 book to me for $40. And the guy's desperate for money. So he says, yeah, go ahead and for $40.
Right.
Okay, you get a good deal. But on the back side of it, when that figure rolls back around into Go Collect, it now undercuts and lowers the value of that book.
Right.
So it becomes a vicious cycle of eBay and Go Collect devaluing the comic community.
Right.
So it's my personal opinion. And I do have an eBay shop, which I don't stock and I'm letting kind of run down.
Sure.
But if you can find other avenues to go, find other ways to do it, it doesn't keep lowering our values down.
That's awesome advice. Very good.
I highly agree with that because then it increases books too, man. It doesn't just decrease. Like when you think a book's worth this, but it keeps increase. It would increase books too. Like
here's something, John. Since me and Jeff have been doing this for almost a year, almost there.
Mm-hmm.
But what's cool is what we've noticed is all of a sudden, ever since like Jeff has done a lot of Vampirella stuff, a lot of Vampirella knowledge and Red Sonja knowledge, and we've talked about some of these women in the comic book realm. All of a sudden, we're noticing these big fluctuations in prices, and you don't hear anything about a movie or nothing like that. But it's word of mouth that gets out. People hear more about it, and they see. Show that book again, Jeff. The one, like an example. You just got
like this one.
You guys, look at that. Yeah. Beautiful cover. Yeah, it's a virgin cover. It doesn't say anything Vampirella on it, but it's gorgeous. That's beautiful work. You know.
And then in a week or so, it's gonna be almost $100 book.
Yeah.
In a week, yeah. So.
But because it's so the limited series run on it, but we've noticed like
even the older books.
Yeah.
Even the older one. The Vampy one used to be like a $200, $300 book where you can find one, a decent one for $200-$300. Now it's up to $5 to $8. It's like, we haven't heard about a movie. We haven't heard about anything like that. And it's when
you hear about speculation on things, it's pretty funny. Yeah. What is it? I'm waiting for the stupid chat to show up. 90 FM, you're good, buddy. Cap'n Comic says, do you use the Over the Street book, Jeff? I personally, I don't know if Jeff, do you use the Over Street book? Do you, John?
I do.
Yeah, and I use it as a reference. I don't use it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I use it as a reference too. But I use a little bit of everything as a reference. I use that. I try not to use Go Collect and eBay, but that when you have your hand, my phone, that's the only thing that's.
I dislike it. I still use them.
Yep.
Right.
because it's the only tools that are available to you right now.
Right.
Exactly. Because
But,
everything else I've noticed too, everything is like up and down when it comes to prices on certain things. As an example of that, you guys, I'm not a spec person, but when someone says something like, "Hey, down the road, what the hell? Get it cheap, what the hell? Get it on the ground level, why not?" Most of us collectors do this out there from word of mouth, and it is an example, just like this one. Because of a movie, I think it's Captain Marvel, and it's going to be Rogue. This one here, remember X-Men Uncanny 171. Rogue gets introduced to the X-Men. She's now an X-Men in this one. This is when she becomes the X-Men. And apparently this book is making some hot waves across the border. So yeah, you get at ground level, it's a great buy right now, you guys. It's like 10, 15 bucks tops, And now there's a Marvel movie coming out or something, and Rogue is supposed to be in it, something like that.
I mentioned of Captain Marvel 2. She may make appearance.
That's what it is, something like that. It's like, hey, why not?
Or it's the same thing like Batman '89.
Yep.
Like it's only a cameo appearance, but now it's shot up to $80 in price, and it's like
a real quick shout out, really quick. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, guys. Real quick.
No, you're good.
Talking Comics, yo. Boy, you had 7s in the house, yo. Buddy.
Surprised he's even up with all 7 of the kids that are asleep.
Buddy, thank you very much for coming. We had Jim, my brother, the artist. Awesome. If you haven't checked that video out, you guys, early tonight about 7 o'clock, I did a quick hour-and-a-half video, just me and Jim. Jim's doing one of the covers I gave him, and smoking fire, you guys. Check it out if you get an opportunity. Okay, so yeah, here's an example, and it's like there's so much, each to his own. So I totally understand where you're coming from there, John, especially when you're talking about, the graded books and why, you have your reasons why, and it makes total sense,
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah. And apart from that, I'm trying. I try to do everything the best I can, so I don't want to jump into anything. So I'm working towards building an artist show to where I can do kind of like what you guys are doing.
Sure.
Except it's just with people that work or who will do sketch covers, and how do you get in touch with them? What do they charge?
Yeah, got a couple for you there, right off the top.
So I'm. Just to try to get the artist name out there,
sure.
And because I love sketch covers.
Yep,
I think they're awesome.
Yeah, if you get an opportunity, John, and you're watching the rewind, check out what Jim has done so far, just on the one cover. Because Jeff did an interview this afternoon, which was awesome. Jeff, I loved it.
Yeah, Jay Ferguson.
Jay Ferguson.
Yeah.
He was
Jay
awesome.
Ferguson. Yeah, he's a spray. He's a what is it? He's an airbrush artist, and he only uses airbrush. He doesn't use. He sketches it out, but he airbrushes everything by freehand, pretty much.
And you know what? You really caught me off guard, which I was really happy to hear. If he didn't say it, I was going to say, I'm just curious. Any inspirational like painting ideas from your spray art, your airbrush art? Have anything to do with H.R. Geiger, because he was a
and he mentioned H.R. Geiger right away.
Yeah, he mentioned him right away.
Wow.
He got I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love Dave Geiger.
I kind of figured you would like Jay in the first place, because when I was talking to him, I go, "Oh, Robert would really like him." That's why I sent you the email.
Yeah, you can see the style like big time in his work. He's actually, you guys, he's got a website too. I didn't post that on these links. Tell people about that really quick, John or Jeff.
I'll post it. It's posted on his on the interview. His Instagram's posted on mine, and all you have to do, hit his Instagram. I think it's jfergusonsart.com. I think it's at the website. If not, you guys can go hit up the interview video, and the links are down below on the interview video. All you guys got to do, hit the link below, and share it and whatever else you guys want to do with it. But pretty much all that information is in that video, in that Jay Ferguson interview video.
Cool. Seawood's in the house, Mr. Newsstand himself. Nice to see you there. Good night, buddy. Thank you very much for coming by and saying hi. I appreciate it. All right. And the next question, buddy, I apologize. I'm going to put you up here on a big screen. Give me one moment. Here we go. And my last question, make it quick, simple here for you. Here we go. Boom. Going to sound a lot like the first one, but a little bit different. What does thinking outside the box mean to you?
Well, it just means really not quite conforming to how other people may do it, but you kind of go your own way. And that the road less traveled is sometimes a better way to go.
Oh, I like that. I like that answer. That was excellent. Good. So John, what is your favorite? What do you seem to gravitate towards in your collection? Is it Marvel? Do you have a preference, Marvel, DC, or Independence? Anything?
No, growing up, I loved Marvel. Marvel was my favorite, and I kind of shunned the DC stuff because that's what my uncle went for. He always had Marvel, X-Men.
But you're noticing some of those horror stories from DC and stuff, aren't you? Yes, you are.
As I grew older, and really started looking at things, Marvel has some really cool characters, but you look at DC and their characters are just so colorful and even a little overpowered at times, but just the rivalries and everything that goes on in DC is really awesome. But I even shift off of those, and I prefer Independence, and my favorite independent story is right there.
Nice.
But not Star Slayer.
Okay.
Obviously, not Star. Even though that one's signed by Grill. But
okay, tell us about that. Curious.
It's because of this guy right here.
Oh yeah. I knew it was coming.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
This guy is my favorite. So I love The Rocketeer, and I love Dave Stevens' artwork. And I really didn't know about The Rocketeer, even because The Rocketeer came out in early 80s. And when the movie came out,
it was a Disney film, wasn't it?
Still one of my favorite movies.
Yep.
And when I started getting back into the books again, I was actually on Lone Star on my comic shop and going down through their dollar sales, and they were clearing out their Rocketeer stuff. And I was like, well, click, 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 click. So I ended up with this huge amount of Rocketeer stuff and sat there and read The Rocketeer for a while. And then I was like, well, I'm going to try to collect all the Rocketeer books. Turns out that's harder than I thought it was going to be. Especially when you get into all the covers.
Sure.
I just wanted to grab all of them. And I still haven't, but the Rocketeer is I love him because he's not OP at all.
Yep.
He's
makes sense.
He's a dude with no armor.
Yep.
And a nuclear reactor on his back.
Exactly.
Oh, I forgot that thing was a nuclear reactor. I completely forgot that.
and a pistol if he chooses to pick one up. So I think he's cool because he's just a dude that found a jetpack, and it was just his lucky day or his unlucky day, whichever way you want to look at it. So
Very cool. Very cool. So now,
but the story behind that,
yeah, go
the
ahead.
whole Rocketeer story, Dave Stevens had written it ahead of time, and Grell was doing Star Slayer, and he didn't have enough filler material for Star Slayer, or he hadn't got it done. So he contacted Dave Stevens and asked him if he had anything that he could, throw into his book. And that's how the Rocketeer actually came about being put into a comic. So it was actually just because this one was a little bit behind in publication that Rocketeer got thrown in. So I'm glad Grell ran a little bit behind. So
That's really cool. I like that. So out of your collection, now another question I'm going to ask you. What is your, so then that would be considered what people would call their grail out of the collection? What's your grail out of your collection? What is the most prized possession out of your entire collection that you cherish the most?
well, out of what I have right now, it's
Everything in that case.
yeah, it's got to be that one. I
Hold
mean,
on.
that's
There we go. Look at that, you guys. Whoa.
I
X-Men
mean,
number one. Little fire.
Yeah, that's one that Steve's looking for.
Yep.
That's
it
one
is.
Steve was. Yep.
I mean, first appearance of what, 5 X-Men, so yeah, plus Magneto. So
Very cool.
I
Very
mean,
cool.
you can't get bigger than that, and it's a 3.5 and it wasn't pressed and it wasn't cleaned.
Sure.
So
Sure. That makes
I could probably send that into CGC and get a 5 out of it.
Yep. I agree. Still.
But I don't want to.
Nope.
So
I don't blame you. So real quick, everybody. My next guest showed up tonight. Here he is, my brother. Boom. Oh, what's on the mind? You have
Sorry, I overslept you guys. I look like I just woke up like, oh. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing?
Thank you, buddy. You're awesome.
How are everybody's nights going? Good.
Oh yeah, so far so good. Everything comic.
Yeah, it is.
Yo, Bob, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. Awesome. Do you have any questions, Kurt, for John here?
You guys probably asked a huge amount of
That's okay, go ahead.
of questions.
He's the spotlight tonight.
What are some underrated? I always love like underrated like comic books. You know, it's like my favorite or underrated characters. So what are your favorite underrated characters? You probably talked about Rocketeer already.
Yep.
What are some other favorite like underrated characters or stories that you're reading that a lot of people aren't like known that a lot of people don't know about? You know.
well, I don't have one here because I didn't pull it out. But the Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons series. I absolutely loved that series. First one better than the second one.
Yep.
But the first one made me laugh at times, just laugh out loud. Especially when they were talking about the different editions where he's trying to train, Morty how to play, and he's like, you got first edition, second edition, 3, 3.5, and 5. Not fourth. We don't talk about fourth. We never talk about it made me laugh because it was true. It was garbage, but but the Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons. If you didn't read that one, that's good for a laugh, and especially from watching the cartoon, I can hear them as I'm reading it because it's written just like they speak.
That's hilarious.
And being a watcher of Critical Role, I picked up on the nuances and the nods towards them.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
as
like watching Critical Role. If anybody's not watched that, they still play that on YouTube, don't they?
it's on of the second season. I think they're on 93.
93 season, yeah. Definitely, if you're a big D&D player, you guys, that's an awesome show to watch. They got a whole audience, and they reenact some of their stuff on stage. It's really
wow.
And they're
I mean, there is. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I've my kids got me into that last Christmas. They're like, "Hey, Dad, have you listened to this?" And I was like, "No. I mean, well, I'm gonna listen to a podcast of someone playing D&D."
They animated too, right?
And then I listened to the second one, and then I passed them up. And I was like, "Are you to this part yet?" "Nah, Dad, I quit." And I was like, "Well, you got to get to this part because I can't." But it was and then my son who's in the military in Japan,
Mhm.
he's still listening to it, and he called me one day. He was like, "I can't believe fill in the blank that this happened." I can talk to you about it. So,
That's hilarious.
Nice.
but it's a great show and a great series, and I hope one day they'll come out to the East Coast and I'll get to
That would be fun.
sign my Critical Role book.
Heck yeah, that'd be fun.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great show. If you guys like D&D, definitely watch that. It's really good. Entertaining too, because they get
Very. Yeah, because they're all voice actors.
Yeah.
So they get into their role and they stay in their role.
Yeah, they do. And drink and all that on stage.
Yeah, I think I've seen like previews. I've never seen like an actual show.
Yeah,
it looks pretty awesome.
Each episode's about 4 hours long.
Yeah,
So you figure, 90 episodes. It's going to take you a while to catch up.
Yeah.
Start at the beginning.
And how detailed they get on the storytelling. See, that's always been the biggest thing about D&D people don't understand. You need a really good, if you don't get into the role of what you're doing and what you're playing on a piece of paper, getting into it, it's all about using your imagination. The books are your tools. Your stories are your tools. And the D&D needs to tell a good story to get you involved in playing the game. Because I used to go to house parties with friends of mine. We'd have a whole dining room table. And sometimes you come in there with armament on and just get into your role, playing with our dice, our paper, and drinking beers, having a blast, And you need the storyteller. And if you got a good D&D player, a master that can the story, get you involved with the story, it's not about winning. People think it's all about winning. And what it is about a group of people playing together in a quest. The D&D is just there kind of like a referee. He's putting you in the story. He's got special things he puts in the story, rules towards the game, and you got to play it out and use your imagination to play through it. Yep. And D&D has always got a bad rap for that over the years, from everything from Union to what. But that's what that whole story is about. And when they created that, awesome. Sorry, I love D&D. It was a great thing. When you get to play with good people, it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was all about role playing and making choices that mattered in that fake aspect.
Exactly.
But it taught you, and I think it actually was a good learning tool.
Yes.
For teaching you how to handle things in real life.
Yep.
So
exactly right.
If you realize that, oh, wait a minute, I did this and it really flubbed up. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I was actually playing with my son. He had 3 friends over for his birthday, and the module started out as a bar fight breaks out. Well, it's all of their first time playing. So my son says, I draw my sword and throw it at him. I said, "No, I'm out."
Yep.
Even in this fake game, there's laws and rules.
Yep. Yep.
Same as there is in this world. So if you are in a bar and a fight breaks out and no swords are drawn, you can do it,
Yep.
but you're going to get in trouble for doing
You're
it.
gonna pay the price
Yeah.
for whatever action you do. Whether it's
So-
a die roll, you gotta make the die roll. If you don't do the die roll, you failed. You do.
Back when I was in college, they had the RPGA, the Role Players Gaming Association,
Yes.
which was incredible.
Yes.
It was so much fun.
Because I used to play that, and another game I really liked a lot too, around the same time. And oh my gosh, the amount of money I spent on that game. And I think that's why I'm wearing glasses. I used to play Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40,000. I play with the miniatures. Killed me, dude. I mean, I probably spent $2,000 on just figures alone, and then meticulously hand painted them. And I used to always play the worst, hardest group out of all of them, and that was the Chaos Army. I always played the Chaos Army because they're a rough, tumble bunch of demons, and they get their ass kicked. Yeah, they were super powerful at first, but then you get slaughtered by some stupid weapon. It was just ridiculous. But it was so cool because me and the guys, I used to play with 5 other guys, and they would Games by James, a gaming store, would let us use either the front of the store or their back room to bring people into the store.
Right.
We literally took styrofoam pieces. I had like 5 long boxes full of styrofoam pieces, and I made terrain, put green grass on one, put trees on one, put mountains on one. And then we pieced this whole puzzle together on like a 9-foot, 12-foot table and have all this terrain. And with that game, you used measuring sticks and die and explosive markers of all different size. And it was like playing army men on a big battlefield. That's what it was like. But it was so much fun. It was so fun.
I just, I was thinking the other day, I was at work and I was like, remember the board game Dark Tower?
Yes.
Yeah. So I had Dark Tower, same uncles that had all the comics. They bought Dark Tower back in '83 for $50. $50 for a board game in 1983.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Was a lot of money.
Yep.
And but they bought Dark Tower. We played it. It was the most incredible game I'd ever played in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first electronic board game.
Sure.
And so I was thinking about that the other day because I had that game, and I came home from college one day and I said, "Hey, Mom, where's my Dark Tower?" "Oh, I sold that in the garage sale for $5."
No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then once I stopped crying and manned up a little bit, life went on. But I was thinking, I wonder if I can find it. So I just Googled it and I saw Kickstarter.
Sure.
And I found that they were making a Return to Dark Tower on Kickstarter.
Nice.
And I looked that up when I got home because I can't do it at work. And it looked incredible.
Yeah.
And it ended up costing me like $250, but I got it.
Sure. There you go. And see, the same thing goes. Same thing that's still hot right now for those, like all those games. By the way, I just want to say a quick shout out, Bob. Thank you so much, brother. Comic Assassin, nice to see you, buddy. I appreciate it.
What's up?
You're very cool. A big shout out to everybody. Thank you for everybody being here. I appreciate it. Come on, buddy. Get back in here. There you go, Jeff. So another game around the same time, and right when it started at ground level, and I went to a gaming con in Chicago.
Right.
And there you go, buddy. Sound good.
Okay.
Magic the Gathering, the card game. Holy ball. Magic the Gathering, the card game. And that is exploded still. I played the computer version of it. I played the card. I've got tons of those damn cards. And and there's another aspect to this whole collection game. It's like our comic books, the artwork on Magic cards was phenomenal. Some of the stuff on there was fantastic. And that game, you thought you were good? You thought you could create a nice 60-card deck? Oh, yeah, no problem. I remember doing this once. I created a whole dead army, or it was a dead, I called it my dead deck. So anytime you flipped out a card with my character, it would kill your guy like right away. Boom, 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 boom. And all you need to get to is from 20 to 0 to kill your opponent.
Right.
And this guy is putting out pieces like crazy, and he wiped me out in like 3 turns. Killed me instantly.
Jeez.
I didn't have a chance. And there's some guys out there that are so good. They have competitions on that game now. It's unreal. These people, oh, you think we don't have lives? Oh my God. Let's talk about that. These guys are phenomenal. And I've watched those competitions, and I played against some really good people. I mean, excellent. Thought chess was hard? Huh, try that once. Because what's cool about Magic that I'd noticed in Magic the Gathering is every deck you ever create of your own, you can make it your own style, no matter what it is, as long as you stay in the confines of the rules. Now, here's the interesting thing about Magic. There's a thin line. It's very manipulative. So the rules are set standard, but you can legally break those rules while playing the game without forever breaking the rules, because you are going by what the card says. That's why you'll see stuff like, oh, that card's banned because of this. People out there think about every loophole in the game. That's what's amazing about it. And so people are using their brains like excessively in that game. You know, and you can go to gaming cons, and they've got auditoriums full of these people playing that game all day long. It's unreal.
Yeah, my sons got into playing that when they were in high school.
Yeah.
And we played it when I was in college, when it had first come out. It was like on 2nd or 3rd edition.
Yep.
When I was in college. And I was like, yeah, I think I played. I'll try to remember how. And so I went online and bought slivers.
Yep.
And I made an entire sliver deck. I was like, well, okay, I think I can play with this. And wiped them out.
Yeah.
They're like, these are banned. You can't play with these.
No, I know. No, exactly. Comics with Bueller's in the house. Hey, brother, nice to see you. Thanks.
What's up, Bueller?
Hey, buddy, how you doing? Thanks for being here. But see, during that time, during the gaming convention, Magic was just hitting the streets, and you could literally sit in line, and they gave you a full box for nothing. They gave away their first boxes. Those boxes that are worth like $5,000 a piece right now because of the Lotus card.
The Black Lotus.
The Black Lotus card. You can buy a deck of unopened of those first cards for like $2,000. And I've seen people buy them and open them. And you're just like, holy ball. And they got shit in their cards. And I've also seen people who bought them and actually got very valuable cards. I've seen people buy them and they got the Black Lotus card. That's very valuable.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool, though. Very, very cool. And just the art and the artist. Same thing when we were talking about artists, like doing that kind of work there, Jeff, on your table. That artist right there. It's like even those comic book artists.
Oh, hold on. Yeah. What was it? Perillo actually started out in Magic cards before he did covers and everything. So,
that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
A lot of these artists, started somewhere and they do a whole oil painting or a whole painting, and then they make a card out of it because boom. Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, this conversation will go forever. But it's very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Because what was I gonna say? So yeah. Do you have any more questions, you guys, for John? We're almost sitting at the hour mark. Perfect timing, you guys.
I mean, not really, honestly. Like, he answered most of mine.
How about you, John? Do you have questions for all three of us? Anything you like to ask us?
Well, I mean, question for you. Yeah. No, not really question. I mean, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I'll run this by everybody that's out there now.
Hold on. There we go.
All right. So anyway, I'm doing a raffle for this book on Instagram. I'm Marvelous Comics 73 on Instagram. But it's an X-Men number 6. Second appearance. Oh no, this is just a Submariner early Silver Age. $2 a ticket. There's 76 tickets left. I'll get you what your number is, or I'll let you pick the numbers off the spreadsheet. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram, Marvelous Comics 73. And the last book I want to show that was a big turn for me was
Oh wow.
Jim Boatwright that was in the chat loves G.I. Joe. Loves G.I. Joe.
Of course, G.I. Joe. I got this one signed by Larry Hama and Bob McLeod.
Nice.
You know, G.I. Joe was probably one of the reasons I ended up going in the military when I did.
Yep.
And just the rush home from school and sit down and watch. And I'm sure it was the same all over the country, but yeah, G.I. Joe, Thundercats,
Yep.
Transformers, and
There's one more there you're missing.
G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Transformers,
I have the power.
and He-Man. Yeah.
Wow, one more.
Yeah.
I have the power. But no, the other one I liked. I'm sorry, no one likes him. I don't understand. Thundar the Barbarian. I liked watching.
What? Yeah, that was earlier. That wasn't
Is that
when I was.
really? Am I that old? Really?
Well, that was 70s, very early 80s,
Was it?
and that was Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera, yeah.
Yeah, so that was, you know, you had Johnny Quest coming on around there,
I love
and
Johnny Quest.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Oh, Scooby-Doo
Yeah.
is awesome.
So, I mean, kids now, if they watch Scooby-Doo, they're like, who is he meeting? Who? What?
Who are the Globetrotters?
Oh, remember what was it? How about Fat Albert? Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, another one that caught me off guard. Someone mentioned it a couple of days ago. I couldn't believe it. They mentioned it. I was listening to a rock station at work. They got a classic rock station up here, and the radio announcer on there was talking about nostalgia shows, and he's like, "I almost died because I just brought this group up because I found one of the comic books, HR Puffin Stuff." He
Yeah.
brought up HR Puffin Stuff. I was dying. I'm like, did I just hear him say that right? You're saying it live on the radio. He goes, "Whatever happened to those classic shows? Segment in the Sea Monster." I'm like, this guy's for real. I didn't think anybody up here in Wisconsin knew. What
Well,
was
you
that?
guys have to watch that Silver Age Sunday episode where Hialeah actually sang the song.
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah, he did. You're
Yes,
right.
I am the song. It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
It triggered all kind of nostalgia.
Yeah. So much fun. So cool. So, really quick, we're gonna do the outro here really in a quick second here. Kurt, do you have anything coming out? Anything? Bud?
If you guys did not see me earlier tonight, I was.
Yeah, now you wanna definitely.
I'm on Sharon Show and is that me or is it? Oh, sorry. Yeah, that hurt my ears.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I think it was my earphones. But
No.
if you but if you guys didn't see earlier, I was on Sharon's show, Life with Two YouTubers.
I did. It was excellent. Excellent.
Thank you. I was just talking urban gardening and just my job as an after school instructor. So if you guys want to listen to that, I highly suggest it. It's a great show. But I don't have anything else planned. Just gonna be in the chats with you guys.
Buddy, on any time, buddy. You can.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate it, buddy. Jeff, buddy, go ahead.
Yeah, before the mic goes messing up again.
No, you're fine, brother.
Yeah,
You're
I got well, if you guys didn't know, I had Jay Ferguson on earlier today, or earlier, yesterday. If you guys didn't watch the interview, you guys might want to go check it out. Really cool airbrush artist that did some Vampirella covers. I got Silver Sundays won't be happening tomorrow, so because the guys are going to be going to a con, so probably in another week or so we'll have Silver Sundays again, and then we have the comic books with a hook, Extreme Nerd Table, may happen tomorrow, may not, depending on some stuff coming up, but. Pretty much, that's all I got going on, Robert. What else you got going on?
Very cool. Thank you, buddy. Hold on one second. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, John, another nice recap for you. I'd like you to say everything about a show, anything you got going on. Show your books one more time. Show them what you're doing. Tell them about your website. I posted all those links down on the bottom, so go right ahead, buddy.
Okay. What? All the ones that I showed?
Well, yeah, your raffle that's going on, and tell them about yourself
Okay.
and your hip comics.
All right, so that's X-Men 6 3.0. Hit me up on Instagram, Marvelous Comics 73. Tickets are $2 a piece for that. I have 76 tickets left. Zeke Elect, he said, "Hey, what's up with the She-Hulk?"
Nice.
That's my She-Hulk in the background. That's my pretty green lady. The website that I used to sell off of is called Hip Comic. If you haven't been to Hip Comic, go over and check it out. My store there is Marvelous Comics. And through the 29th, I'm running a buy two, get one free on CBCS slabs. I've got probably 65 plus slabs on there, something you'll probably like. I like to slab things I just like to see preserved.
There you go.
Some of my stuff is obscure, but I got some Atlas stuff on there that we're in pretty good shape, so I just want them to stay that way.
Awesome.
Hit me up on Instagram, YouTube, and I hope to see you all around.
You definitely will. Stick around, buddy, after the show, real quick.
All right.
And YouTube community, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. My guests really appreciate it. So please check out Marvelous Comics. He's down in the links on the bottom, along with all the artists that are down there. Thorough is included down there. So hey, I'd appreciate it. Go give him a like. Go check him out. He's got some awesome deals, you guys. Good buddy of mine, trustworthy, someone you can trust in the community. So please, yeah. And a big thank you to you, the community. I really appreciate it. I just looked at my numbers and I don't pay attention to that. I'm at 330 subscribers. Holy mackerel. I never thought I'd get past 300. So a big thank you to you, the community. Much love, you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to do my outro video. I always fail at this. So, and I can't wait to fix this. So give me 1 second and here we go. And we're almost there. So no, not going to work. Not going to work. That's not working either. I'm freezing. What's going on? What's going on? Okay, so again, YouTube community, appreciate it. Comic book fans out there, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Peace.